6 p.m., Ryan and Tyler entered the water first. Their silhouettes faded beneath the surface and disappeared. 10 minutes later, Aguai followed them in. He reached the rendezvous point at 60 meters. According to the plan, the two of them were supposed to return there by 6:20, but the minutes kept passing. Not a single bubble rose from below. Aguai stared into the darkness underneath him. The anxiety was building. He watched the pressure gauge drop and understood. If he kept waiting, he might not make it back either. He made the call and started his ascent. Before leaving, he placed a line marker next to the spare tank at 50 meters. If Ryan and Tyler came back, they'd know he'd already gone up. Aguai completed his decompression ascent. No sign of them the entire way. The moment he broke the surface, he contacted the dive center and called the police. He went back in twice more to search. The spare tanks at the decompression stops hadn't been touched. The conclusion was obvious. When the news broke, it sent shockwaves through the entire diving community. Divers at Ryan and Tyler's level, elite, experienced, lost at 120 meters. It was like a swimming coach drowning in a pool. Nobody wanted to believe it, but the impossible had happened. Han Ting traveled from the South Sea to Soulbreaker Cave the moment she heard. Cave divers from across the country began arriving to assist. But the rescue faced one devastating reality. 120 meters inside a cave is nothing like 120 meters in open water. Fewer than 50 divers in the entire country could reach that depth, and reaching it didn't mean executing a rescue operation. In reality, fewer than 5 people nationwide were capable of conducting a search and recovery mission at that depth. That same night, cave diving specialist Heitao drove through the night from Nanning to reach the site. By then, more than 7 hours had passed since contact was lost. The probability of survival was nearly zero. Heitao still wanted to go in, even just to bring them back, but to prevent another accident. The police sealed the scene and prohibited anyone from entering the water. On that September day, Heitao and Aguai began their first search. Target: the North Cave platform at 50 meters. They went down twice. They came back with nothing. Han Ting finally arrived after 9 p.m., giving the rescue team a second wind. But everyone had been running on no sleep after long journeys, and what was waiting for them was one of the most dangerous deep cave recovery operations imaginable. More than 24 hours had now passed since contact was lost. Hope was essentially gone. The team decided to rest for the night and start again in the morning. September 28th, 7:30 a.m. The second search operation launched. To prevent further accidents, support divers were staged at 9 meters, 40 meters, and 60 meters inside the North Cave. Heitao wasn't yet able to operate below 100 meters. His role was to search the 10 to 50 meter zone. Han Ting continued alone. She followed the main line down past 120 meters into the deep. The terrain there resembles a half funnel, narrowing as it drops. At 164 meters, a large rock formation blocks the passage. If anyone lost control below 120 meters, that's where they would have come to rest. Han Ting searched that area thoroughly. Nothing. At that depth, actual search time is measured in minutes. Decompression on the way back up takes more than 3 hours. By the time they surfaced, the entire morning was gone. In the afternoon, another team entered through the South Cave. Cave diving runs on guideline systems. Divers follow lines in and out. The Gilding Skylight site had an extensive, well-established network of lines already in place. A connecting line ran between the North Cave at 120 meters and the South Cave at 105 meters. Ryan and Tyler hadn't planned to go to the South Cave, but Aguai had seen no bubbles at the rendezvous point. It was possible they had followed the wrong line. There's a horizontal turning point in the South Cave at 50 meters. If the two of them had run out of gas there, they would have floated up and stayed at that level. After an extended search between 70 and 30 meters, nothing.